gorgeous, gorgeous. I am so excited about this new training called On the Rise, Escalating Toward Leadership. And this is specific to your lead consultants and getting them to be, moving them up to be your next strong team managers. That's what we're really excited, and I know that this was a collaborative effort from home office and from the training team specifically, that we are thrilled to be able to provide you with this tool to give you the confidence that you need to keep building those levels of leadership. So this program will help you identify and develop those emerging leaders within your organizations through consistency and best business practices. And we want to give a shout out to our amazing, one of our amazing leaders, Tara Webb.
Woo! That's amazing.
Tara was so generous enough to share her inspiration and her ideas in building this program. And she's going to be talking to the PC track the next few days here at conference to really engage and build those strong lead consultants, because those LCs are so valuable to our teams. And this training builds upon hers, building from the lead consultant to the team manager. So how do we define leadership? And I really love this quote by Donald H. McGannon. It says, leadership is action, not position. So leadership is not just sitting idly by, wishing for things to happen. It is being in front, leading by example, and strategically making things happen. So this program was built to build and motivate strong leaders who are advancing up the career path with focus, direction, and confidence, and utilizing high-quality training and best business practices. So as a leader, I don't want to show you that one yet. As a leader, one of the major roles that you get to play is creating that vision for your teams. Why do they want to stay with Jamberry? What value does that bring to them? Why do they want to keep growing and building their business? What leadership tools do they need to build up their confidence and continue to move forward? So your belief in them is critical right out of the gate. And as you lead by example and you invest your time in their success, that's when the beauty begins. That's when they start developing trust within you and building those relationships that plant those roots deeper. And they will stay with you. And that's our ultimate goal. We don't want anyone to go anywhere, right? And we want them to drink that jam juice. We're all drinking that jam juice right now, right?
Purple and yummy.
We want them to drink that and have the confidence that they can do this, that they can set their goals with Jamberry, and that they can do this. And this is our ultimate goal. So here is a basic overview of this training. So you play a huge part in this training because you are the facilitators. We want you to build this, this excitement and energy for this training and getting your LCs excited and your potential leaders excited. So it's a 4-week program for leaders to train future team managers. There are step-by-step instructions for you. It's incredible. It's a huge packet of everything that you need. All resources are provided by home office, and this includes steps to prepare for the training launch, invitation and welcome email examples, call scripts, checklists, social media posts, action items and homework, recognition and follow-up, and coaching tips after each call. So everything is there for you. All right, so let's see what we are excited? Yes! Okay, week 1, best business practices for a leader and a strong personal business. So shifting part of your focus to your downline. This is something as these emerging LCs, they've got to start thinking, okay, now I've got to start thinking about my downline. And it's important for you to train them and realize that they have to take specific time now in their week to do this. Because if they want to continue to move forward and continue to go up the career path, They have to block out time for this. But I want you to remember, it's always work-life balance, right? Which is really important because I know a lot of times maybe we invest too much time into our teams and we forget about our personal business. So it's very important to train these new emerging leaders that it's a good rule of thumb. 80% personal, you focus on your personal business, and 20% on your team. So because you want to keep your personal business going. And that's where it goes with leading by example and how important this is. No matter how many you have on your team, whether you have 10, 500, 1,000, they are always watching you. And leading by example means that you've got to keep your calendar full, right? You've got to keep those bookings on the calendar. You have to keep generating those booking and those recruiting leads. And so we really want to stress really to aim for 2 parties a week. Because the more people that you're in front of, the more leads that you're going to generate. And I want to put a little thing in for your VIP groups. Your VIP groups are fantastic, and they play a huge part in your business, absolutely, to generate repeat customers and customer relations. But they do not, I call it the icing on the cake, but they do not replace your parties, your actual parties. And I want you to remember that. So 2 parties a week are what we're aiming for. To generate those bookings and recruiting leads. So, and then there's Jamberry University, and this is something that Home Office is constantly striving to make better. But I want you to remember that this is a resource for you and for your downline, and get them into the habit to go to Jamberry University to find trainings and help them develop their skills. And then the emotional cycle of sales. How many of us know what that is? Yeah, how many of us have been in that every single, yeah, the emotional cycle of sales. Sometimes we find ourselves kind of in a non-productive, maybe negative time in those sales, and it's really important to be aware of the cycle, that every feeling, every emotion that you feel, it's normal. That's the way it is in this business. But that knowing and identifying and recognizing where you are in that cycle can help you push forward, move out of that, and continue leading by example. All right, week 2. So team building and planting those recruiting seeds. Really, the big thing is with recruiting, I think we all have great intentions, but it's overcoming that fear. I think we're afraid after you have get out into your cold markets, and you think, okay, well, I've asked every single person I know, now what happens? In this training, it's going to help your emerging leaders come up with the tools and the scripts to be able to overcome rejection and hear the word no. And with sharing the Jamberry gift at your parties by generating interest, I think the more that they feel confident in doing this, it's just going to be better for them. They're going to be star recruiters before this is all over. And then examples and ways to develop recruiting seeds. I had a leader tell me that one of her team members came up to her and said, okay, we always hear about recruiting seeds, but what are they? And so this training will help be able to generate those examples and ways to develop those recruiting seeds and use them within your parties. Then we have the company of 3 approach, and this is another great way of sharing Jamberry with others, where you can identify 3 people that you would love to have on your team, and really being genuine to them, thinking they have got these great qualities that I would love to have them be a part of my organization, and that they would bring value to the organization, and then reaching out to them and talking to them about it, not being afraid about that. And we also give you scripts and the tools to be able to do that. I know my experience in the field, I loved doing this, and I was just always shocked. Even though they may have said no, it still built that experience and built that confidence within me that I could do that. And it's so great when they actually say yes. It's awesome. So, and also on the other side of things, when people have approached me with this, like with the 3 approach, I was just thrilled that they would come to me, that they noticed something about me, that I might be good in this area or with this organization. It really meant a lot to me. Even though I said no, it still meant a lot to me. And I really appreciated that and built that relationship more, because it might just not be the right time, but maybe later it will be. Then we have a general power statement, and this is something that's new. This is something that you want to create something powerful for your parties, what you want to have happen with this statement. And in this training, it goes in it a little bit deeper, but that we want you leaders to create your general power statement and share it with your emerging leaders, and then have them be able to create one to talk about in their parties as well. And then we have the 3-question close. And this goes along with the full service checkout. Who does a full service checkout? Okay, so many of you. So this kind of goes along with it. And this keeps the simple structure, the booking, the selling, and the recruiting out in the forefront. So when you meet with your customers, when you meet with the guests at your parties, that you can talk to them and ask them the 3 questions. You know, do they have everything on their wish list that they're looking for tonight? When they look on your calendar, you know, are you interested in booking a party on any of these available days? And third one, are you interested in the Jamboree opportunity? This puts that out there so you can just remember those 3 basic questions that you know that you've offered that to everyone that you have come in contact with at your parties. Then week 3 is onboarding, and I know that we just had a fantastic training by Tracy with onboarding, and she went through many of these, but welcoming and training new consultants to your team. So I think when you can train these LCs, these rising stars, to be able to onboard their new consultants right from the get-go, they will stay. Their roots again will be planted deeper. And you know, the first thing is they say, okay, well now I have a new recruit, I'm overwhelmed, where do I even start? And that is with the Fast Start program. The Fast Start program is fantastic to talk about with the very first thing for a new recruit, because then they can understand the simple business structure without overwhelming them. And then as Tracy talked about, our friends list, or a getting to know you list, and how important this tool can be in achieving Fast Start. And then you have the launch party, and how important this is to get this immediately on the calendar, get this booked. And this is a great activity while they're waiting for their starter kit, when they're so excited, but get that on. You never want to underestimate the launch party, because that will propel them into getting their first parties on the books. And we really talk about and stress getting their first 6 parties on the books at the very beginning, because this will keep them moving. This will keep that ball going, and then hoping that they will get the bookings from their bookings and will keep their calendar full and doing that best business practice. And then shadowing. Shadowing is one of the greatest things that your new recruit can do, is shadowing with your parties, both your online and your in-home parties. And that's another way, leading by example, having those parties on the books so these new recruits can shadow you. And then, as Tracy talked a lot about these follow-up calls, how important it is when you set goals with your new recruits, and then you can map out that first 90 days with them. And then you want to follow up, ask them about their contact list, ask them about, their 6 parties on the books. Talk about, talking about the contents in their starter kit when they get it, and walking through, everything in their starter kit, because they are so excited to get that kit. It's such a fun time, fun call to talk to them about that. And then our last one, week 4, leadership development, building a strong, sustainable team. So our TAR, tracking your reports. It is so important for your team members to understand how to read their reports, because when they do this, it will bring value to their business, and they will be able to, use it to their benefit. And it helps with recognition as well. And a lot of times, it's really easy just to recognize the top sellers of everything, but we also want to recognize effort and improvement month over month, and you're able to do that with by tracking your reports. And then also that personal outreach and how important this is. I know as a sales manager, you love sending handwritten cards out, and maybe you've received a handwritten card from some of us. I just can't believe the impact that makes, and you're so kind when you post it on the Facebook page and just say, look what, look what Home Office sent me. But it's a big deal because time is so precious and we're so busy, and that somebody took the time to handwrite a card is huge. So just remember the different personal outreaches that there's, what you can do for that. And also, as we talked about, as Tracy kind of mentioned already, the phone, getting on the phone, talking on the phone. I felt like I have built great relationships with many of you because we have talked on the phone. Yeah, because it's just not the same if I was going to do a coaching call with you on messaging. It's just not the same. So you need to pick up the phone, as Tracy calls it, there's money in your voice, right? Because you took the time to talk to somebody, and you took the time to really invest in their success. And then team meetings. How many of you do team meetings? I love team meetings. Yes, team meetings are so important. And being consistent with your team meetings. And not only with your emerging leaders, it's team managers that we really want you to start doing your team meetings. But if these emerging leaders can participate and understand how important just their attendance is at these meetings is critical, and they will absolutely love being a part of these team meetings, and they will do it the same as well. So, in closing, the On the Rise training, our desired outcomes for you are to motivate and inspire new leaders, provide tools for leadership. We want this training tool to provide everything for you to feel confident in your leadership. Develop ownership of your team's success and build positive and productive relationships. So we are so thrilled about this training. It is going to be rolled out this fall to the US and Canadian markets right now. So be on the lookout. We are so excited. It's amazing. It just looks so cute. You're just going to love the whole look of everything. It just is amazing. I'm so proud of it. So we are thrilled. Keep on the lookout. And thank you.